my brother-in-law used to be tied to a record label called Conquer. He was telling me when I first got out, he was like, look, man, you know, that you dope. That's what's popping, man. You need to get with Conquer. And I'm like, who's Conquer? And he was like, yo, I was with them for a minute. They do beats and all that. So he gives me this CD. The CD was a bunch of beats that a guy, one of the producers named Pete over there was doing. And I was feeling some of the tracks. So we ended up doing a joint called Nowhere to Park, me, him, and my sister. And then when we after we did that joint, we was gonna take it to Conquer. He hadn't talked to him in a while, but he was gonna go and shop the joint to show them what we did off of the beat. That didn't happen, but he did get in contact with his cousin, and his cousin was Kataz, and that's how I met Kataz. Kataz basically, I never got a chance to really get, for the first couple weeks, I never got a chance to meet Kataz, but I ended up meeting the CEO. His name was Jose Ramos, and he ended up, we talked on the phone, and he was like, yo, you need to come out here and meet me. So we met in Calumet City, not far from where I worked at a place at Hooters, right? So he gets there. I got one of the producers with me that I worked with, and he was like, yo, you know, let me hear what you got. We discussed some things first, and he was like, let me hear what you got. So we went to his Hummer, we sat in the car, and he started playing some of the joints, and he was feeling them. At least I thought he was feeling them, like, yeah, this is what's up, woo woo, but it's nothing that can go to the radio. I need something that can go to the radio like ASAP, like right now on you. So I'm like, I really don't have none of that, because most of the joints that I do is gritty, and it get gritty because that's the type of lifestyle that I know, and that's the type of feeling that I'm feeling right now. I don't have anything, you know, that's ready to go to the radio or that's pop or anything like that. So he put in some joints, and he let me hear some stuff from the guy Feeve that was on the label. Feeve had all the females in the city going crazy, and he let me hear some stuff Kataz was doing. I thought it was dope. So he was like, what surprised me is that he came out of his pocket with $200, and he passes it back to me. I'm in the back seat. He passes it back to me. He said, here, go record me some hits. And I'm looking like, I don't even know this guy. This is the first time I met this guy. But he called me one night, and him and I were supposed to go to John Doe's to sit down and listen to some music, and to talk over maybe a possible deal and talk over some production or whatever. And I called him one night. I say, hey, the night that we were supposed to go there, and I called him. I say, okay, I'm gonna end up there about 8 o'clock. You gonna be there about 8:30, 9 o'clock? And he told me, yeah, I'll be there, but really what I want to do is I want to call you and tell you that, you know, we're going to Atlanta on a business trip, and we're working on Kataz and stuff. And I'm like, okay, all right, like, what's that have to do with me? And he just told me, he was like, I want you to go. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. Now, granted, I'm on parole, but this is Atlanta. Hell yeah, I'm going. He didn't have to ask me twice.
To Atlanta where the players play, and we ride on them things like every day. Big beats hit streets, see gangsters.
Wow. You know, the city was just vibrant. Everybody was everywhere. There was just so much to do. The clubs were off the chain, and we didn't do any of that. For real, we didn't do any of that. We ended up in the Penthouse most of the time working on music. Most of the vibe was about Kataz. We were there to do some work on them, and he had another group, and he was working with them. And I remember just sitting there having nothing to do. I was just bored, man. There was just nothing to do outside of when I met Kataz. That was wonderful. I met Kataz. We talked. Of course, he was my brother-in-law's cousin, so we got along on that level. I think that we had a lot in common. He had a vision, and he had a goal and a drive, and I had the same vision, goal, and drive. And not only that, but we saw things the same way about life in general. And I think that's what put the bond there between him and I. What we did was, like, man, him and I, we in the hotel room, we was writing songs, like, almost every night we going and we figuring out new joints, new hooks to songs and new choruses new verses, new slick sayings and stuff like that, and it was working out good. We were gelling real good, man. We were in Midnight Black's studio, and he put a beat on. It was a certain beat we put on, and I remember he was playing the beat. Me, Jose, we were out there. We was just tripping and joking, and we were saying some stuff, and we didn't even really know what we were saying, and it turned into a hook, and then the hook ended up being one of his hottest songs. Like, it went from just playing, that was the vibe that we had. We were playing and came up with a hit.
Although Genesis had gotten the attention of a label, things were not going exactly as he planned.
Taz was in there recording, and I was like, yo, I really want to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want to do something. I want to work. He said, I didn't call you down here to work. I called you down here to look at this and see what's going on with the situation and soak it up. And at the time, I didn't understand that. Soak up what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to work. This is what I want to do. Like, dog, you just don't know how I got a baby up, and I just came all the way down here, and I'm on parole, and I'm sacrificing everything that I've accomplished, my freedom, to come down here and do this, and you got me sitting on the back burner. It was frustrating me. I think he saw the frustration, but his thing was, I want you to soak up the business. And I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't trying to hear it. Not in the instance. I just wanted to get out there and get things done. When I came back from Atlanta to Chicago, we didn't talk much. There wasn't much communication between Jose and I, and the label and I. So we ended up parting ways. In hindsight, when I look at it, I wasn't ready, and he wasn't ready for me. Like, at the time, he was trying to make something happen that he couldn't make happen with Feed. And I came in at the wrong time, needing more attention than what he was willing to give or could give at that moment. And I just wasn't willing to wait, you know? I just wanted to, you gotta look at, this is a dream that I've had since I was a child. You know what I'm saying? And broken promise after broken promise, and lost opportunity after lost opportunity. When I'm out now, 12 and a half years that I've been trying to get to this, and me trying to get to this, like letting a dog off of a leash that's been on a leash ever since he was a puppy. And he's been watching all the other dogs run around and watching the cats and stuff barking at them, but he couldn't get at them. You know what I mean? And then it's finally, you let him off that leash. He's not coming back for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? And I'm finally here, and that's what I want. That's just, I really want this. Like, dog, I'm not playing. I really want this. But nobody could understand that at that moment. Nobody was really ready for that. So I wasn't ready for him, and he wasn't ready for me. And I think that's just the way that it ended, with neither one of us being ready.
URT, nigga. Yeah.
What's up, my nigga?
Genesis, nigga.
We holding our nuts on this
Rest of the motherfucking team.
My nigga Sin.
I got my nigga over here cracking.
My nigga AZ.
Shout out to MOA and my nigga Dope. All the niggas from Chi-Town, from the south side to the west, north, nigga. This for you stones, gangsters, vice lords, and Latin disciples. Joe, you niggas don't listen, so don't be surprised when we bust in your kitchen. And if you survive, the next time you'll pay attention when we scream URT, nigga, cause that's the business. Type of niggas that walk up in the church and shoot the witness and had a funeral right there. Kill two birds with one stone, you know what I rep. We making more noise than downtones. Genesis shake hands, throw up the middle finger. Fuck hoes thicker than Trina. Fat slug to make niggas leaner. Got niggas with blocks, of course niggas with blocks. Hustling most of the time, waiting for albums to drop. Plotting on taking the city. 2006 Frank Nitty. Don't make me frustrated with you, cause the results ain't pretty. Sir Lancelot of this team, cause I don't focus on dreams. I focus on focusing on these cops, niggas and fiends. Got bitches that like to fuck opposition just to get sent on the mission. Ask about us, she'll pop you and mention you RT. Ain't no playing if you live in the shine. You RT. Watch your back or be ready to die. RT. If you don't know, then we're willing to show. Ain't no mercy, nigga. Ain't no mercy, nigga. You RT. Ain't no playing if you live in the shine. RT. Watch your back or be ready to die. RT. If you don't know, then we're willing to show. Ain't no mercy, nigga. Ain't no mercy, nigga.
I sat down with Doe one time, and he was telling me, he was like, look, man, the demo is good. You're doing some really good songs or what have you, but you need some hits. You need something. You need to do something. You need to keep doing projects, keep making music to get out there. And I'm like, man, what do you think I should do, man? And he said, man, you should do your own mixtape. And I'm like, all right, let's go for it. So that's what started the Angel with a Dirty Face Volume 1. But that wasn't my motivation to get it going. I talked about that with him. But what really pushed me was I got into an argument with Cliff. And he was telling me that on the URT album that we did, the mixtape that I did with them, he was telling me, he was like, man, everything's tight. You know what I'm saying? I like what you're doing and what have you. But you guys is killing you. Streets and Hood, he was talking about. They killing you on the rap side. And I'm like, what? And he said they killing you on the rap side. They rap a whole lot better than you. They getting it in. Dude, you ain't doing nothing. We were having a creative difference. Cliff and I were having a creative difference over the URT situation, because I was telling him, man, maybe we should do this like this. And I can't even remember the exact problem that we had at that time, or whatever issue it was. But I remember I was talking to him, and I was passionate about what I was giving him, and he just shot back at me like, dude, this is my project. You do whatever you want to do on your project. This is my project. You know what I'm saying? You do whatever you want to do on your project. And I'm like, damn, dog, what's all that about? He was like, man, you ain't all that hot, dude. My other guys, Streets and Hood, he was talking about. Streets and Hood better than you. Ooh, they killing you. I'm like, for real? I'm like, how long you been holding that in? Like, where's all this coming from? He was like, man, straight up, if you think you could do better, you do your own mixtape. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I will.
Beaten but never destroyed, Genesis managed to regain control of his life. And in August of 2006, he began working on his first mixtape project, Angel with a Dirty Face.
You know what it is, nigga.
Yeah, Seth Dine, nigga, back in the booth in this bitch. Yeah, I'm about to tell 2007, nigga. Angel with a Dirty Face. Get it. This motherfucking beat is sick, yo. Dope music in this bitch, 7 Dynasty. Shot-town finna kill this bitch, nigga. What's up, Cardiac? Woo! I see you, fuck all, I spit the shit that resembles nuclear missiles. Smacking niggas with pistols, make all my enemies tremble. They panic and disassemble, shake the universe and cuff it. Stomp the pavement and crush it, rushing any beef and bust it. Not even Satan can touch it. Zap Dynasty, J-Team. It's Prince Genesis, nigga. When you get fucking fed up with niggas, man, you just ready to just tear the whole fucking world up on some angry shit.
You know what it is, nigga.
This is the type of shit that simple hoes ain't prepared for. I stalk your brother down and put 2 in this grand damn dough. I'm sick of niggas playing me like I ain't gon' get respect. You either honor me or honor shots from about this tech. I walk the beat in Shot-town streets, blocks, and projects. From the hundreds to west side slums, nowhere I can't rest. Niggas call me the prince because my character's a royalty. Dedicated to popping fake niggas for losing loyalty.
See all that attitude is unnecessary, dude. Cause you never carry twos. He's not even squarey cute. But you's a scary dude. Believed by very few. Just keep it very cool. Or we will bury you. See all that attitude is unnecessary, dude. Cause you never carry twos. He's not even squarey cute. But you's a scary dude. Believed by very few. Just keep it very cool. Or we will bury you.
Man, I'm sick of all these soft ass niggas thinking that they chief. Walking around with their chest poked out, picking on those who weak. Talking loud in public like they just dying to get some attention. Use a Vic. Only females be doing that type of shit, man. Use a bitch. Reaching up under your shirt like you got a thumper. Ooh, I'm so shook, but you better use it, motherfucker. But on second thought, you ain't the type to fight, so who you fooling? Dude, you foolish, showing me that you strapped. Is you stupid? Cause if you pull a pistol, you best to blast. Cause if you don't, I'ma burn your ass. Why these niggas be thinking that they gon' spook me just cause they talking trash? What the fuck is you trying to prove? I ain't scared and I ain't gon' move. Stop the talking, let's get to walking outside so you can just show me, dude. I ain't about to keep speaking, homie. That's the reason this heaters on me. Fuck it, we can throw hands, it don't make a difference, nigga. Let's see who's phony. Use a thug, but who gives a fuck? You woofing hard, but you won't step up. And that's the reason I'm cool and calm. Cause you frontin' coward, I hear you, but fuck the dead men and show them out later. Kick their ass now and fuck taking their names. Let's send this shit up in flames. Put women and kids to bed, let's go looking for dinner. Spend none, take no shorts or losses. Get rid of these niggas. They all ass, similar to shit stains in they drawers. They hoes walk up and smell, step back, frown and pause like goddamn. Pussy MCs stunt like a man, but they confused. Run a test on that bitch, give them a CAT scan, an X-ray, a pap smear exam. Stick the stick in his rectum, look for a penis and bless him, then address him like the hoe that he is. The undercover transvestite in showbiz. I know this lame ain't trying to show his chance to lose himself in the music. I will abuse him and bruise him and screw his ass like the fucking DJ and sell his kid on eBay. What the fuck? What'd he say? Turn it up. Joe, now what the fuck did he say? Bitch, have a nice day. Genesis bringing the revolution. Inspect y'all shit like a UN resolution. Lyric embargo. We prejudice against the fans and racist against the MCs. Lyrical Klux Klan. Fuck being recorded. We live like Rodney King. Provoking a fight like Don King. Marching on niggas like Martin Luther King. There's no vaccine for the lyrical.
Genesis was climbing his way back up the ladder of stardom, and on November 10, 2006, the other half of Genesis gave birth to his first child. They named her Amor, which is Spanish for love, but in honor of his grandmother, her middle name became Lucine.
At the time that I was in Illinois Department of Corrections, man, every day there was a murder. Every day somebody got beat up. Every day there was a stabbing. Every day there was some type of violence in that damn place. And you don't know from one moment to the next whether you're going to live or whether you're going to die. So the big thing for me was I don't have anything on this earth to even represent me even being here. I didn't have any kids or anything like that. So that was always a big thing for me, was to have kids when I got out. And then, you know, it started really, her and I was in the midst of an argument. And I was getting ready to tell her, I'm done with this, blah, 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 woo, woo. And she sent me a text message with a picture on it of the pregnancy test. And I after 12 and a half years, I didn't know what that. I asked my guy, I'm like, what's this? What's this she sent me? He was like, you stupid, man. That's a pregnancy test. And it's positive. So I was like, wow. So I call her back. We had just got through arguing. I call her back. I'm like, is that positive? You pregnant? She was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. You know? So it's like, damn, that was my first kid. And I remember seeing her born the first day. I had got a good job. We had moved into an apartment and what have you. And I remember, man, when the first day she was born, I was like, damn. I just couldn't stop looking at her. I just couldn't stop looking. I haven't slept with her, like, after, you know, she gave birth to her and they laid her down, let her rest. Like, I laid there with the baby all night. I wasn't even supposed to be there. Past visiting hours. I couldn't believe it at all. I couldn't believe it. This is my first child, you know. And that pushed me to be even more serious about the music game. Because I'm like, okay, now I got somebody else who's depending on me to be successful at this.
Confused about his next career move, Genesis found motivation.
And I was just like lost. I'm running around trying to figure out how can I get my name on. I'm doing showcases and stuff like that, but it's not really taking off like I want to. Nothing went to the radio or anything like that, and I'm like, man, I gotta make a move. So one day when I come home from work, I get a call from Doe, And I'm talking to Doe, and Doe, was asking me an unrelated question about something else. And I remember somehow the conversation led to Atlanta. He's like, man, I'm finna move to Atlanta. I said, for real? He said, yeah, man, I'm finna move to Atlanta like ASAP. And I'm like, man, that's what's up. And I thought to myself, like, man, I was there. I really want to go to the A. Like, I really, really want to move to the A myself. But at the time, I didn't have no money. I was broke. I had my first child. I'm dealing with that. I had my family. My new family. I'm dealing with that. And I'm on parole. I just can't go, But he was talking me into it. Every time I get on the phone with him, that's the only thing he's talking about. And he up and did it. He left, right? And I'm thinking to myself, damn, I'm missing another opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be, and I can't because stuff is holding me back. All I needed was a push. I needed a push. And so one day, I'm sitting and I'm watching, Akon on TV. He was in Chicago for an event.
Akon, one of the biggest names in music, as he makes a stop through the Windy City and offers advice to up-and-coming musicians.
So pretty much basically, if you're in a situation or they're in a situation where the outlets are limited, I mean, really all you can do is just continue to work hard, you know what I'm saying? Without go online. And really, you got to take these trips to areas where it is active, like New York, LA. Because if you stay in this area and Chicago does not have the outlets, you got to go to where the outlets are. You got to invest in yourself, take that flight, get that hotel, and whatever you got to do to get in front of someone that can help you, you got to be able to present your act, present your music, or whatever it is you do.
And he ended up saying something that kind of pushed me towards doing what I needed to do. And I remember after he said that, that was it. That's all I needed. I talked to my girl about it, and she wasn't against it. And I thought it over about the parole, but I was like, man, parole. I'm out. A-Town.
Acting on pure inspiration, Genesis packed up everything he owned and moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Georgia. We on the grind, Georgia. All the time, it ain't nothing on my mind, but Georgia. We ain't playing with you.